Hey
everybody, how's it going? This is Kev, and I'm going to give you my first installment of Kev's cooking tips. We all know it's very important to eat healthy. Try to keep the carbs to a minimum, high protein. Carbs are okay as long as they're complex carbohydrates, stuff like rice, whole grain bread, all that kind of stuff. Not like simple carbs like Cheetos and Doritos and white bread and that stuff. Anyway, I'm going to teach you a really good recipe for cabbage soup. It's kind of an Asian theme. I have a little twist on it. First of all, I'm going to give you the ingredients. Alright. First of all, we need cabbage. There we go. Then we need some, you can use any sort of meat. I used chicken, and I did ground chicken. It doesn't have to be ground. You could chop it up. It can be any meat you want. You could actually also substitute tofu if you wanted. We have scallions right here. Cilantro. That's not going until the very last. We have dried garlic, white pepper, peas and carrots, optional, egg, also optional, 2 peppers. You can put in as many peppers as you want. It all depends on how spicy you want it. And I'm putting in the thin soy sauce. If you don't have that, you can put in any soy sauce you need. And then I'm putting in just a splash of the fish sauce as well. So, we already have the pot here, and it's already almost boiling. So we're going to say it's pretty much almost boiling. I already filled the pot with water to save the process. So we have a pot with water. How much water do you ask? Well, how big do you want the soup to be? It's all kind of like, you know, go by measurement, nothing specific here. So I put about, I don't know, I filled this pot about 1/4 of the way up. So I'm going to take, it has just water in it right now, so I'm starting from scratch. So I'm going to take the soy sauce, and I'm going to probably put like about, I don't know, 6 or 7 dashes in there for flavor. Alright. Then I'm going to take the fish sauce. Voila. Not as many on the fish sauce, maybe 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's about it. That's all I'm going to do in that. Now it's almost boiling. I'm going to pretend it's already boiling. Okay. I forgot to mention one ingredient, that's the garlic. I already have it all chopped up. So I'm going to take my garlic, and the garlic's going in. Shazam! Bam! Alright. Now, obviously the cabbage is going to cook way quicker than the meat. So my next thing I'm going to put in is meat. If you had tofu, I'd probably put the cabbage and the tofu in at the same time. But if you're going to use meat, I would put the meat in first. I forgot one more thing. This is the dried garlic, and I'm also putting that into the soup as well. How much? That much. Alright. So now I have the chicken. I haven't seasoned it or anything yet because I wanted to show you. So I'm taking the white pepper. You know, it's really expensive at Ralph's and stuff like that, but if you go to these like little mini markets, they have them pretty cheap, like $1 or $2. So I'm just seasoning the chicken with the white pepper. That gives it a nice little flavor. I'm going to grind it in a little bit more. And I see that my water is practically boiling. Timing is awesome. Alright. So I'm grinding my chicken. I'm grinding it, grinding it, grinding it. Okay, now my water's boiling. I'm going to drop the chicken in, but I'm not just going like that, blah, you know. I'm taking the little pieces like this, and I'm dropping them in there like that. Don't want to splash too high because that can burn me. Then I'm going in there, and there, and there. I'm going to two-hand it. Here we go. Two-hander. Little small ingredients. And I can already smell it. I can smell the garlic, and I can smell kind of the soy sauce and the chicken. It smells good already. This is extremely healthy, by the way. You can eat this. And by the way, you can, like, if you make a big enough batch, this will last for like 3-4 days, and you can keep it going on. Okay, I'm throwing the chicken in there. It cooks really quick, by the way. If you have the meat all ground up, it cooks really, really quick. Like it's almost done, the stuff I already put in there. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit quicker here. Alright, get in there. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Right after all the chicken's in there, I'm going to put the egg in. Okay, so I got all the chicken in there. Bam, I'm going to rinse off my hands real quick. Now I got the egg. Voila, I take the egg. Got to make sure you're stirring the egg when you throw it in. So I take the egg, crack it, bam. Don't just let it sit there, stir it. Stir that bad boy. Alright, so it's stirring. Okay. Now I'm going to take the cabbage. I've already chopped up the cabbage. You don't need to see that on video. And I just chopped it lengthwise and then widthwise. And then I have this. And I am throwing this. I'm kind of like pulling it apart as I throw it into the soup. Pulling it apart, throwing it in there. Pulling it apart. I'm not using the whole cabbage because honestly, if you use the whole cabbage, it's too much. You can actually, depending on the size of the soup, you can use 2 soups. You can use 1 cabbage and 2 soups. See how much is in there? A lot. Alright, now I'm going to take my peas and carrots. Whoop, drop those in there. Just stir a little bit. Then I'll take my scallions. Chop those bad boys up. I'm going to throw those in there. Alright, I'm going to stir this thing up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the heat a little bit. Cover the lid. And let it sit there for what? 3 to 5 minutes. You don't even, actually the heat's almost too high right now. You can just let it simmer very low. Oh, I forgot one thing. I want to make it a little spicy, so I'm going to take a pepper. I'm going to cut it lengthwise. Cut it this way. And I'm going to throw a pepper in there too. If it was just for me, I'd make it super spicy, but I have guests, so I'm not going to make it too crazy. Now the only last thing that we have to do is when the soup's ready, right when it's ready, you're going to take the cilantro, you're going to chop it up, and you're going to top it on top of the individual soup bowl that you're going to serve. Let's pretend that the soup's already ready. Alright. Okay, here's our bowl. Here's our ladle right here. I'm going to ladle up the soup. And you know, actually the soup really is ready if you want the cabbage to be crunchy. There's the soup right there. Look at all that. Healthy goodness. Not an ounce of fat in there, and it's plenty of healthy nutritional value. Okay, now there's that. And I can either chop the cilantro with my knife, or I can just go like this. I'm just going to tear it off. And I just flip it on top. There you go. And then I have rice always ready to go. This is my kind of whole grain rice, but you can put any kind of rice you want. And you can either put it to the side or put it on top right in there. And that's pretty much it. That was lesson 1 of cooking, healthy cooking tips. Stick around and I'll be coming out with many more videos in the near future. Alright, peace.